I was on the course a year and a half ago. I found myself in a very bad place. I had lots of mental health problems, anxiety, depression, and I've been seeing specialists. I've been going to CBT, I've taken lots of different medications, and nothing really clicked until this course, which at the time my mum just found when she was just rushing around trying to find any help she could to me. And I was on a course within 2 days, I think, of my mum getting through. And so that's already a good thing. But what really helped me on the course is what we're going to go through now, these sorts of little steps. And after a little bit of time getting myself back, I came to volunteer. I was a volunteer facilitator with SAFE for a year, and I've now moved on to paid facilitation with SAFE as a way of moving forward in my life and in my career. So, talking about overcoming anxiety, but specifically, as I mentioned, it's the little things, the little details that I think was the thing that made this course work where so much else hadn't. So, I like to think of it as like a tree. This came to me as a colleague's icebreaker of what sort of plant do you feel like today? And it really clicked with me that this is the part of the tree we all pay attention to. If there's something wrong here, we know what to do, we know what to fix it, we can cut away bits that are dying, we can help out. This is the bit that actually keeps most of the tree alive. And we don't see that a lot, we don't talk about it a lot. Now that's partly because as a society we don't do a good enough job talking about mental health. But also, it's very difficult to do, and especially for, as I work on the adult course, for people who've not done that for 40 years. It's really difficult for them to ask themselves those sorts of questions. And I like to call it big picture and small picture, is that you've got, at the big picture, you have your medication, you have your counselling, you have your therapies. These are all big interventional steps that are designed and used when things go badly wrong, when we see the tree start to die. But what we don't see are your day-to-day struggles. How do you deal with anxiety in the moment? How do you get through just the day? So me coming here, how do I get through that when I still have an anxiety problem? How am I standing here in front of you? I did want to have a picture of me from before to compare. But I look back, I don't think I'd taken a photo of myself before I took the one for this for about 5 years. And I certainly didn't turn my camera on when I did the course until about the 4th week. Nowadays, camera's on 3 times a week talking to people. How did I get there when I admit myself I'm not better? A little bit of exercise, just to drive home the point. How many skills? Does anyone here think they could name 5 skills that they have about themselves? I can already tell you that almost all of you will have already used 10 skills just to be sitting where you are right now. Anything just on that side? Sorry. So, I'm going to ask you some questions. I've got a few examples up here that we can go with. So everyone here who has made it to this meeting and is sitting in a chair listening to me waffle now has already planned it. Obviously, you've organised it because you've had to organise a trip, everything you've got to do, prepared yourself ready to leave the house. Communication skills, because you'll have spoken with Sue, with Nina or whoever to get here, to know when it's on. Decision making, whether you wanted to drive, whether you wanted to take a bus, get a lift, however you got here. Reasoning skills, obviously a lot of you will have looked out the window today and gone, yeah, short sleeves probably not for me. What about timekeeping? We all got here roughly on time, even with the traffic. So you've all done that. Obviously budgeting for some people, train drives, or taking the car, whether it's worth taking the bus. And a lot of spatial reasoning, especially those who drove here, and a lot of awareness, assuming you drove here safely. And that's already, that's 10 skills. How many of you thought you used any skills getting here? Exactly, because it is just what we do. And that's how we look at skills. We think skills have to be exceptional, but they're not. A lot of us are skilled just because we can do things in daily life. Everyone who comes on our course has made a step that a lot of people haven't been able to make, and that needs to be recognised. We do. And if we don't start looking at things better, well, of course our mental health's going to suffer, because of course if we only do normal things and none of the normal things count as skills or achievements, well, of course no one does anything. If we can redefine and give ourselves a new perspective on how we look at these things, you can show people who've got skills, and that's what our workshops do. As we just said with Roxy, we've got the 5 Ps because we've already got them to talk about their skills. We've already got them to share their passions and achievements, so that it's really hard, once you've done all that and acknowledge that these are all skills and achievements, it's really hard not to have anything to write down on that.